They're poisoning the river. Evidence inside. Don't trust anyone. Just imagine looking down at your phone late at night and seeing that exact message pop up. The text is totally encrypted, the symbols are flashing, and instantly, your pulse starts to race, you are completely hooked. And you know, that immediate visceral hook is exactly where our story begins today.
Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're really digging into the anatomy of a thriller by exploring a genuinely fascinating short film script titled The Last Message of Truth. Let's pull back the curtain, shall we? We're going to see exactly how it grabs our attention and just relentlessly escalates tension right from the very first frame.
Okay, let's dive into this structural blueprint. For a 20-minute film, it's pretty tight. We've got the setup running from minutes 0 to 5, the core conflict kicking into high gear from minutes 5 to 15, and finally, the climax and resolution wrapping things up in the last 5 minutes.
Act 1. The setup.
So, the script opens up in a city apartment at night. Picture a camera panning across a cluttered desk, a glowing laptop, a half-finished cup of coffee. Right away, visually, we know exactly who we're dealing with. This is Ayaan. He's a journalist, mid-20s, and he is burning the midnight oil. Suddenly, his phone vibrates with that encrypted message we just talked about. And what's brilliant here is that without wasting a single second of screen time, the script establishes Ayaan's character as this relentless truth seeker and immediately thrusts him into action as he saves this highly dangerous file to a USB drive. Meanwhile, outside his window, neon lights are just glowing over a city where everyone is glued to their phones. It creates this subtle, lingering unease in the air right from the jump.
Moving on to Act 2, Conflict. Let's move to and see how this builds across the second act, because we are tracking Ayaan's rapid, almost terrifying descent into a massive conspiracy. First off, he's sneaking into an abandoned office at night, literally blowing dust off folders labeled waste disposal reports. But then, the physical environment totally turns against him. Out of nowhere, a phone in this empty office starts ringing. He answers it, and this distorted voice just warns him, "Leave before they find you." Next thing we know, he's down in a subway, clutching his USB for dear life, and he realizes the CCTV cameras are physically turning to follow his every move. Finally, it all culminates in this super tense, dark alley meeting with a pale, trembling whistleblower who looks at Ayaan and says, "They silenced me. You're the last chance." And right as he says that, blinding headlights flood the alley and the whistleblower just vanishes. The pacing here is absolutely relentless.
To convey all this escalating danger without, totally bogging down the narrative, the script uses a really effective montage sequence. It creates this growing, suffocating sense of corporate surveillance and just pure paranoia. Ayaan literally watches deleted files mysteriously reappear on his laptop. He's being absolutely bombarded by anonymous emails warning him to drop the story. And interwoven with this digital threat are the real-world consequences. These disturbing news clippings of villagers falling desperately sick. The net isn't just closing in on him at this point, it is already wrapped completely around him.
Which leaves us, and honestly the audience, totally breathless, asking one critical question. Will the truth survive the shadows?
Act 3, Climax and Resolution.
So, the crucial point is, Ayaan is back in his apartment, completely cornered. He sets up his phone camera, breathing super heavily. He looks directly into the lens and says, "My name is Ayaan. If you're watching this, the truth is out. The corporation is dumping toxic waste into our rivers. Families are dying. This is the evidence. Don't let them bury it." Wow. The emotional weight of this scene is just immense. He hits upload. We see the progress bar slowly filling up. It's a literal race against time. And then suddenly, his apartment door just bursts open and dark figures rush in. The screen violently cuts to black. We hear the horrific sound of Ayaan's phone just being smashed to pieces. But what's so fascinating here is that his physical defeat does not mean a narrative defeat. The scene cuts to daylight, and we see this powerful montage of the public watching Ayaan's upload on their own phones, their laptops, their TVs. We see massive crowds gathering, chanting. The whistleblower's message is spreading like wildfire, going completely viral. So Ayaan's physical loss is ultimately transformed into this massive societal victory, all because the digital information survived.
Part 4, Cinematic Notes on Visuals and Sound.
And this brilliantly illustrates the visual language of the film. We can see very specific notes on lighting that symbolize the core thematic struggle. On one side, we have neon lighting, harsh, bright, representing the glaring, undeniable truth that Ayaan is fighting to expose.
On the flip side, we have deep, heavy shadows, representing the corporate corruption, the unknown, and that hidden danger lurking right outside his window. Literally every single frame is a battle between light and dark. But it's not just about what you see, it's about what you hear. The sound design is actively weaponized by the writer to totally manipulate our attention. They use these awful, distorted notification sounds to make us feel the technological breach, which makes our own everyday devices feel somehow alien and threatening. They use heavy, oppressive silence right before moments of immediate danger to make those jump scares hit so much harder. And during the chase sequences, the underlying musical score actually mimics a heartbeat rhythm, subconsciously syncing the audience's physical reaction to the protagonist's own physiological fear. It's brilliant.
Now, what's really interesting about this concept is that at the core of the entire piece lies one key symbol, the smartphone. I mean, in the beginning, the phone is a trap, right? It's exactly how the corporation tracks Ayaan. It's the CCTV turning in the subway, it's the anonymous threats just popping up on his screen. But by the end, that exact same device becomes the ultimate weapon of justice. It is the very tool Ayaan uses to broadcast the truth to the entire world and take down this corrupt entity. It's this fascinating dual-natured symbol that just reflects our modern realities so perfectly.
The script leaves us with one final haunting shot, a glowing phone screen displaying Ayaan's words. The last message is the truth, share it. It's a truly powerful conclusion that pushes right past the boundaries of the screen. It asks us, the viewers, to reflect on the real-world power of information. Because in an age where we are constantly being surveilled, our digital footprint is also our absolute loudest voice. So I'll leave you with this to think about. If you uncovered a truth that the world desperately needed to hear, but the shadows were closing in, would you hit share?